Risa. Ingeri Jafro, Jasinka Trevor, Sfonzise, Reviti just before Finan Farens Finitasus. Ata, l'importante cosa stiamo sfidando, ci vedi. Questo foto di Risa. Adesso si cortina su, se cortina in genere siamo perfect, se mi rivedi tanta per siamo perfect. Se si suppose, per come sono usate nel video di Sky e vabbè, yes, middle vabbè, yes, according continue trends last weeks, particularly 2 weeks, swithering or just consider according what reading, consideration other things, I think it's possible that later late after, because it's really after might became fratto dal nostro clouding way to maintain this way and also that might in front of a few moments for it I think we're close but with you let's see what happens but as we know bisogna oggi anzi wizards supposed to see if the creates can screen today very yeah well bad well the monte the contro well bad so si dice, mi dico, lui non vuole portare in frase, non che fa mix. C'è plazzi sono cortine nazione number one, marketing come non so birthday, per in particolare third birthday, per scurtare it was a beautiful grey curtain with a beautiful paint over bench, to reap the passage from facca for the previous curtain new, and all things really met you already one of things one of comments in the section should be pointed in the first comment, perhaps first comment where one of them is already comment section where no if you're gonna need see it well from his shot and me, if you yes. See the lingering flowers, long flowers mixed to new plants. Oh, if not even better, surely better, it's not shot pratica is first part of Utro, which Parusia, shot you weather, scatto St. Jeff, this classic mythical winner di classic mythical room, because perhaps someone there is also the other mythical room with other mythical window. From a broader perspective, also when it's a shot pratica is a shot similar to classical shot of modern secondo, presso cortiere with beautiful grey curtain, beautiful painted benches, but perhaps also the first curtain nostro with the course carrier curtain. I don't remember exactly, this surely carrier curtain still in common major, Russian, so now tell me 1-10 dice in where this is shot, so sorrisi, where was saying this is shot, so sorrisi, effect, but for one reason, the girl should and also on this, but more when this because the effect si measure. Ragazzi del semplice senso si chiede di fare per scurtare video before curtain before painted benches. Also si chiede perhaps for sustain color screen and if also si can remember not remember exactly this and also si chiede now use highlight the sheet for the new curtain. Sorry but repeat expression also si chiede for far time so yes and this little speech or sentences it is but also always better visible for me its entity in this shot but this is what is mythical the genre shot. La segreta mi è uscito 2 minuti video, non ti misteri, non ti misteri, non so, per stesso, ottobre, si importa tu, le supporta mi si è detto il suo today, non viso, non alzi, red, il più stante, tu si porti col il suo ritmo, il suo valido, il suo fritto, so, repeat once again, but also low, it's better visible for me, needs and entity, give me 18, ti si fa, si quindi con le genere 18. And finally, remember your keyboard, Ajax, scanning 40 PG, 675, also in the case of the con genere 18. Yeah, questi sono le people, follow the report, se che dica ora, sono loro mi sister, so myself, adesso lo schede, and finally, I hope you will get breakfast. Today it's late in general, also my last family means last December 31 and the top page for the first time. Late in general for the record, but not at all for me, because for me it's also kind of normal in this period. So late and not more not than yes, but above all the important is to see from the record reaction. Some of the street was some fucking breakfast, Fianten and simulate. So to eat a better thanking milk at the Fianten, and part of the materials to yes, so think at record is another 3. So straccio. Ora tu ripeto, ricross di carriera, lì tu sono ma ti sembra not as just before, as I just before, more not in yes, where they are just roll, you just include 14 minutes. But l'important English show is remember sentence and we also do 40 minutes so a million. And as we always say, breakfast sono most built in the floor. Absolutely. No, senza ma sto mania, ma forse more than mania. Mesa questo solo sto conto, ne? Anzi, non like the fact of the ex former reason on Friday, I think the crash more than 4 Fridays ago, that magari think the crash 4 weeks ago, more than 4 weeks ago, 4 Friday ago, and the previous eraser, it was the fifth on the story of the reports, and it was the beautiful red, black and white, slightly different modern comparison with the press, all things that all will follow in particular fact i Friday su altre porte, ma ti dice bene, ti pido, aveva promesso io detto one day, one time, so many times, c'è better set to better, presidente, ordine, c'è stato di things, numero di speech, and from his other new shots, obviously it's a joke, so it's okay, but Sumania so the word, but some of the from his other biscuits, other my favorite fact there are many beautiful combos, beautiful biscuits, and since I think at one let's not second steps, chocolate chip cookies, the cookies, chips, chocolate chips, and if you see questo fatto biscuits, mi serve parte in particolare, la tua iniziano con l'usaria da lì fa ma tu mi fa sono short non è che si può più così tosto shock fa questo caso fa short per video short e quindi fa sta finché siamo monzi adesso sono sì che sa lo 15 minuti in pieno sono in realtà ci better tu sono non scrivo finish nowadays once it once che si finca on 85 86 87 e so sì che lo 15 minuti in pieno sono in ci better più better vabbè and since that moment about insert that moment and since that moment today pattern inserted once again milk so good news and we need to also techniques of breakfast so questa bomba spiro in particolare a me ma mi se spirito gioco perché mi fatto una suonia sopra questo mi fingo tutto sta mi svette video e pensavo che fosse tolla di cosa breakfast so se mega bomba secondo thing is about serious inferable sia sta nella cona della canzia mi sa sempre te sei computer position perhaps un seco with the palm in general second piece position because altre feste questa posizione preliminare da Italian Palm Dark Chocolate Chip si fa cosa a tre comandamento di più because they are really super bar. Adesso tomorrow se fosse fatto fa come tutti tomorrow con tu ma vuoi sì